everybody. Welcome to Crafts by KMW. This is Karen, and I'm so excited you are joining me today for this, what I think is a fun and informative video. So I have a countdown of my 15 favorite coloring and art supplies. So these are things that you can use both for coloring, and some of them can also be used in other art projects and in other crafts. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I make these videos to give you ideas and to share things that you might not know about or have seen. So please let me know in the comments if you have any of these items and if you love them, or if you don't have some of these items and you're like, yeah, I would like to get that. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. So without further ado, let's get to the countdown. So number 15 might be a little bit of an odd choice, but I love this item. So this is a covered container. I believe I got this from Michael's. It was very cheap. I might have gotten it from Big Lots too. I can't remember. I bought it on a shopping trip one day when I went to several different stores. But it's a great cheap little item. It's a container, and it has a lid that has a clear opening so you can see what's inside. The container holds a good amount, but not too much. So if you're going to use it for water or something, you don't wind up putting too much in there and possibly causing yourself a problem. And it has a magnet on the back. So if you have one of those metal art carts or a metal shelf or anything, you can just stick it on there, and it's really great to hold in small items, paper clips, erasers, pencil sharpeners, anything that you have that is small that you just don't know what to do with. And I use it as a water or a Gamsol holder. So I have a very rambunctious cat who is also a busybody and a just very nosy. And so whenever I'm crafting or coloring, he always jumps up on my table, and he has knocked over my water containers several times. Luckily, I've been able to avoid a lot of damage, but it has been a pain to pick up and clean up. So now I use this as my water container. So I'll put in what I need. When I see him coming, I can quickly put the cover on, and then I don't have to worry about him knocking anything over or spilling my my water or my Gamsol. So this is just a great little container. It's really cheap. I think they're like $1. They come in different colors. I also have a mint colored one. So just a really neat little time-saving item. So number 14 is a water brush. So I believe these are Arteza. I don't remember exactly, but they come in a pack of 6, and they have different nibs. So there are some that are bigger and some that are smaller. And then what you do is you unscrew it. It does unscrew in the reverse, this brand. So normally we would unscrew to the right. This one unscrews to the left. So you unscrew it, and then you fill the bottom, the base with water, and then you can you screw it back on, and then you can use your artwork. So sorry, it screws back onto the right. I had to get used to that. You can even fill it with paint or ink, whatever you're doing. And then you don't have to keep dipping your brush into a water receptacle to moisten your watercolor or whatever you're using. So just a really nice time saver. Again, you get lots of different nibs. There's one that even has a larger brush nib than this one. So really great for all purposes. So number 13 is a pencil extender. So these, I got this one on Amazon, and I got it in a pack of, I think it was 10 or 12 for maybe $10, $11, something like that. So this is used when you have a really small pencil and it's really hard to hold it. So you just stick it in the top. It has a little like ring that you can push up to the end to close it securely, and then it makes it like you have a whole pencil again. And these are really versatile because I use my pencils a lot and they tend to get worn down, especially my favorite colors, black, white, my colorless blenders. So these are really great to have and to help extend the life of your pencils. So number 12 is stencils. So I love to use stencils for my backgrounds. One of my absolute favorites is this cloud stencil. This I got on Amazon. I believe it was about $7. And it is double-sided, as you can see, so you can use both sides. And it helps you to make really cool clouds. I actually have a book. Here's Finn. Hi, Finn. I actually have a book that I used that cloud stencil in. So I used that stencil to make this page, this cloud background. So it is just a really great, versatile stencil. Okay, buddy, not now. And then I just have a lot of other different stencils that I can use for backgrounds. This one is a giraffe pattern. This one is a brick wall stencil. I actually have a video on my channel that I made using this stencil to make a brick wall. I have a beehive. I have this little sort of flowery pattern. Here's some snake scales. So here's a cheetah pattern. So these are so versatile in helping you to make great backgrounds. So it's really nice to have a nice stash of stencils. I also have a circle stencil. This is great to help you make circles for moons, suns, other round objects that you would like to add to your coloring pages. So number 11 is glitter pens. Glitter pens. So I have, my favorites are Jelly Roll, and I have a lot of Jelly Roll pens, but I wanted to share this red one. This red Jelly Roll pen is really, really great. It is the prettiest red that I've seen in a gel pen. And then this is the black Jelly Roll Glaze pen. These pens are, they give you 3D effects. So when you color with them, the black becomes a little bit raised and it's really glossy and shiny. And it just looks really, really great on your pages. I wanted to bring over one other one and I forgot. And so The other one is a Jelly Roll has a clear glitter gel pen. So say you color something and you want to give it a little bit of glitter, you can color over it with that gel pen, and all it adds is just the glitter. And so the color that you colored originally with stays true, and you just add a little bit of glitter and shine onto it. And I just love that pen as well. So really fun to add cool details with your glitter pens. So next is Gamsol. And if you've never heard of Gamsol before, it is very similar to mineral spirits. This one is made by Gamblin. I got this on Amazon. I believe it was about $10 for this bottle. It's a 4.2 fluid ounce bottle. I'm not sure if I am totally in love with this brand. I think once I use this one up, I will probably check out another one. I think all of them are probably pretty similar, but what you use this for is to blend. And it allows you to blend your colored pencils really seamlessly. It does better than a colorless blender, better than burnishing. You just get a really smooth, seamless blend with the Gamsol mineral spirits as well. You don't have to use a lot to get good effect, so you just paint it on with a paintbrush or a sponge brush, depending on how big your area is. And then you let it dry and you just see the beautiful blended results. You can continue to color on top of it. I did a portrait page that was very large, 11 by 14, and there was a lot of skin, and I used Gamsol to blend. And the Gamsol, I felt, kind of lightened what I had already laid down. So then I just went ahead and colored over it and darkened some of the areas that got too light. And it went on beautifully. You could put more Gamsol on after that. It dries perfectly. It leaves no trace on your paper. It doesn't really smell. Some people noted that it has kind of an odor. I don't think it does. I think it doesn't smell like anything, but you could definitely wear a mask if you use this. I would not use it for long periods of time because I think it is a little toxic, but it's a great item to have to help you with your blending, especially in larger areas or with skin, which is often very hard to get to look good without using some type of blending technique. So next are the ink applicators. So these are ink applicators that I got from Michaels. I believe they are a generic brand. I don't think they were any special brand. There's actually I think 2 more in the set, but this gives you the general idea. So they are really, the plastic handle is really hardy. It doesn't bend. It's pretty sturdy. The neck is a little flexible, which I like when you're applying. It gives you that ability to press down harder and get into different areas. The head of it is super thick and plush and soft, and it washes out like a dream. I've used it with ink. I've used them with gelatos. I've used them with paint, and as you can see, it doesn't even look like I used them. It comes looking like this with the brown. So really like these, wash out really well. You can use them wet or damp and they work perfectly. They're very sturdy. I can't remember how much I paid for them. I think it was less than $10. They are totally worth it though if you use ink and other items that need an applicator. It's just really, really helpful. I also use them on with chalk, with my chalk pastels. And again, they work beautifully with the chalk pastels. So the next item, number 8, is an angled brush. So this is an angled brush that I got with another item that is higher up in the countdown. But I love it. It's very flat. So as you can see, it is super, super flat, and it has an angled edge. And this allows you, if you're using paint or gelatos or watercolors, it allows you to get in those small little cracks on your pages really easily. It allows you to go along a line really easily and get a nice crisp line. It's just a fantastic brush. This one is made by Faber-Castell, but I'm sure there are absolutely ton of them. I really like this one because it has a sturdy plastic grip, and it's not too tall, so I can really control it well. I can get really close up. I can hold it really close up if I'm using it to get into really fine details. But this is a really great brush to have if you do use paints on your coloring book pages. So number 7 is metallic markers. I've seen a lot of posts lately asking if metallic colored pencils are good, if they look good. If not, what do I use? Metallic colored pencils, in my view, and I've tried a couple different brands, are really garbage. They really don't look metallic at all. They're very flat. They're not shiny. You do get the look or the color of whatever it is. You know, if you use a copper metallic pencil, you do get a copper color, but it's not shiny. It doesn't really look metallic. It looks kind of muddy. It looks almost brown. The silvers look gray, and that's pretty much across the board, no matter what brand you use. So I use metallic gel pens, which I already shared in the countdown. I didn't share any of my metallic ones, but I do have copper, silver, gold, and they work fantastically. But I also love these metallic markers. These are by a company called Boke. I'm not exactly sure. I got them off of Amazon. They come in packs of 6, so you can get 6 gold, 6 silver, or 3 of each, which is what I did. I've been using them for about a year. I use them all the time. They last a really long time. I think one of the golds is starting to wear out, and I have used it a ton. They have a bullet nib, and they're very light, easy to hold, and they give you a really beautiful metallic look. I can show you on, now this is just regular notebook paper, but if you use better paper, it will show up. Now this one actually I think is wearing out a little bit. Sorry about that. So now I guess I have 2 that are wearing out a little bit, but as you can see, they look pretty shiny. They're really, really nice pens. And if you want that metallic look, you really do need to use gel pens or markers. So number 6 is regular gel pens. I use them all the time. I have tons of Jelly Roll pens, but 2 of my favorites. So I love to use a black gel pen, and one of my favorites is the Bic Gelosity. So this isn't really a pen that's even made for coloring necessarily. It's made for just writing, but it is really smooth. It lasts a long time. It dries fairly quickly. Sometimes with gel pens, you have kind of a long wait time for them to dry. But this one dries pretty quickly. And it is also, I'm pretty sure, maybe not. I think it's refillable. I'm not sure where it unscrews, but I think it is refillable. So this is a great gel pen to get if you want black. I do believe they have other colors in the Bic Gelosity line. And then my favorite white gel pen of all time is the Uniball Signo. This is just a fantastic gel pen. It works on top of anything. It works on top of the paint pens, on the Posca pens. It works on top of wax colored pencils. I have found that the jelly rolls do not work really well on wax. So if you color like something with your Prismacolors, and then you want to give it like some white detail, like to show some shine or something, you're not going to be able to do that with your white jelly roll pen very well. But the Signo will pretty much color on anything or draw on anything. So I have a bunch of these. I think they're about $5 to $6 each. I usually buy these at my local arts and crafts store. I find they can be a little expensive in the stores, but you can find them pretty much anywhere. They do have other colors, but I think they have the best white gel pen ever. So now we're into the top 5. Woohoo! So number 5 is clear gesso. I have talked about clear gesso a lot. I probably mention it at least once in almost every video I make, no matter what it is. Clear gesso is just necessary if you use alcohol markers. Alcohol markers bleed through any paper. I have not found any paper, even cardstock, that is used to make coloring books that does not let the alcohol bleed through. So you do need to use something to coat the page first to prevent bleed through. Some people don't mind if the markers bleed through on single-sided pages. I do. I keep my books together. Usually I don't destroy them. So when I flip through, I don't want to see all that mumbo jumbo. You can cover it with other things. I've seen people cover their backsides with, just plain paper or scrapbook paper or cardstock. You could totally do that. But I don't like the bleed through, so I use clear gesso. This is by Art Basics. I got this on Amazon. I think it was about $10. This is an 8.5 fluid ounce jar. You can get larger jars. You can also get the same size for a little bit smaller. I went with this brand because when I was checking this out and looking at videos on using gesso, a lot of them use this brand. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get the same brand. And I really, really like it. I'm not sure if I will buy it again when I run out of this, but it is a great brand. So it just looks like, if you've never used it before, it just looks like paint. And you brush it onto your page, and when you're done, you let it dry for at least 15 minutes. Some people let it dry even longer. I think I wound up, when I've used it on like maybe 2 or 3 pages so far. I think I've let it dry a couple hours because I do it I put it aside and then I go and do other things and then I come back to it and it's usually totally dry. And then it will totally block your anything from bleeding through. You can use this on any paper. I have several coloring books that are printed on Amazon Create Space paper, which is very thin. And I use it on them to give a little bit of weight to the paper. I've used it on really smooth paper to give it a little more texture. I've used it on cheaper paper to help my colored pencils go on better, which it does. So I just think this is an invaluable art resource for anybody who colors in coloring books, or just if you paint, gessoing your canvas or your surface first is just a must to help your paint go on smoothly and evenly and keep the integrity of the color. So this is just really a huge and really important art supply for me. So that was number 5, gesso. So number 4 is pastel colored pencils. I happen to have the Color 50-piece macaron set. I just bought these for Black Friday over Thanksgiving. Let me see if I can get these open. But I think any brand that you like will be great. I'm not necessarily advocating for the Color, although I think these are really nice pencils. I love the tin. The top of the tin shows you a color chart, and then they also give you a color chart inside. The colors are absolutely lovely. You get really nice pastel colors. And that's what, in many colored pencil sets, the pastel colors are just kind of lacking. This one has a ton of greens, a lot of blues. So it really fills in some of your colored pencil sets where you just don't have really true pastel colors. So I just think it's an essential tool for coloring, to have a really nice set, whatever brand you choose, of pastel pencils. They're just so versatile. They really help you with shading. They're really nice to get blending as well. So really love pastel pencils. So number 3 is chalk pastel pencils. Again, not necessarily advocating for any brand. I have the Stabilo Carbothellos. This set is the 48 set. They do have a 60 set, I believe, and then they have smaller sets. I think they have, not sure if they have a 36. I'm pretty sure they have a 24 and an 18. But if you do use chalk pastels, you know that the sticks are messy. They break really easily. So it's really nice to have a nice set of pastel pencils. These work exactly the same as chalk pastels. They're just in a pencil. And they come in really beautiful colors. This Stabilo set also came with a nub, a rolled pencil blender, a kneaded rubber eraser, and its own pencil sharpener, which I really appreciated, because I have a bunch of pencil sharpeners that have all been used by my wax pencils, and so it was really nice to get a pencil sharpener that I could save just for these. I keep this in the tin. I don't take it out unless I'm using these pencils, and I only use it with these pencils, so it'll stay nice and sharp. many of the reviews and just people talk in general say how these get worn down a lot and, you know, you use them up really quickly. I haven't found that. This one is worn down a little bit, but I used it a lot. I really did. So I think you get a lot of use out of these. I think they last just as long as a pastel stick would. And this brand is actually sold open stock. So you can buy single colors, and if you use one up, you can go ahead and replace it. I actually bought a couple additional ones, these colors, for use on skin tones that did not come in this set of 48. This brand, Stabilo, is kind of expensive. This 48 set, I believe, was like $90, and I think I got it on sale. The 60 set, I believe, is over $100. I think it's like 109, 110, something like that. Maybe even a little bit more. So I think if you want a more budget-friendly set, there are definitely those out there. But it's really, if you use chalk pastels, it is really nice to have a set of the pastel pencils. So that is number 3. So we have 2 more in my countdown. So number 2 is the blender pencil. As you can see, I just bought these. I'm constantly buying these because I use them all the time. I think I have about 10 now. They do, if you use them a lot, if you blend a lot, they do go down a lot, but they're pretty cheap. I bought this pack on Amazon. I think it was like $6 for 2 of them. This one is Prismacolor, but I think most of the top brands have a colorless blender. I know that I think Derwent makes one. So I know that there are different ones. This one, the Prismacolor one, is for wax colored pencils. They do also have them for oil-based pencils. Now, I find that the Prismacolor does work with my oil-based pencils. I have Brutfuner pencils, and this blender pencil works really nicely with them. But you can buy an oil-based pencil colorless blender. I actually have a Lyra one. It's Lyra. I'm not sure if it's Lyra or Lyra, but that one is made for oil-based pencils. I did find, though, that if the oil-based colorless blenders do not work so good on wax-based pencils. So if you have both, you might want to get a colorless blender for both. But the Prismacolor is the best one that I found. It allows you to blend your colors really seamlessly. It does add wax onto the page, definitely. It's wax-based, so it does add more wax onto your page. It also tends to remove some of the color, so you will either want to, add enough color, enough layers on to make sure that once you blend with your colorless blender, you're still left with the opacity or the intensity of color that you want. And it will add more wax onto the paper. So it's like adding another layer of regular colored pencil onto your paper. But I just love these, and I use them every day, every time I color. So now to number 1. And this is Gelatos. If you've seen some of my other videos, some of my color alongs, I have talked about Gelatos, and I adore them. This entire bag is filled with Gelatos. I think I have 3 full sets. They come in 12. So I think I have 3 full sets of 12. And then I have 2 mini sets of 4. And these are made by Faber-Castell. it's like, it's really hard to describe. They are like paint, but they are in a stick form. They're very creamy. You can use them wet or dry. You can blend them in any way you want. You can apply them directly to the paper, like coloring right on the paper. So let me show you on this paper here. So you can color right on the paper with it. And then you can blend it with your finger, with an applicator. You can use water on it, and it turns out like paint or watercolor. It's a little bit thicker than watercolor, I think, but you can get some beautiful, beautiful effects. Like I said, I have some color alongs on my channel where I use gelatos and the backgrounds or on other items, so you can see how I use them. But these are my go-to supply besides my colored pencils. They are great for backgrounds. They're great for large areas like water, mountains, grass. They come in a ton of colors. They come in different patinas, I guess. So there's metallic, there's iridescent, there's just regular ones. They come in pastel colors, brights, darks. There's just a ton of different colors, and they're so easy to use. They last a long time when you color on it, and when you add water, if you want to add water to it to make it like a paint, it does spread out a lot, so you get really good coverage with just a little bit on there. Faber-Castell includes several different applicators. So they give you a soft sponge applicator. They give you a firmer or harder sponge applicator. And then they give you the slanted paintbrush that I shared earlier in the countdown. And they are just a joy to work with. If you have never used them, or you use watercolors or paint and would like to try something different, I highly recommend these. They are just a joy to work with and give you really beautiful results. You can blend the colors and get lots of different effects. So they are really fun to use. So those are my top 15 favorite art supplies and coloring supplies. And I do have an honorable mention. So these are the Spectrum Noir glitter pens. So my favorites are the clear. So I don't know if it's going to show up very well on this paper at all, but it adds a clear coat of glitter. And when it dries, it gets really glittery and shiny. You probably can't see it at all right now. And this paper is just plain paper, not the best. But the clear one is really nice because you can color with whatever and then add a nice clear sparkle to whatever your item is, and it doesn't change the color. And they do also have colors as well. So this is a blue one, and I haven't used it yet. You have to remove the ring, and there's a little bit of prep work to these. But so this one will add a blue glitter to whatever. So fantastic for coloring water, sky. So these are just a really cool tool. I did it as an honorable mention because they're kind of expensive. If you live in the US, they might be a little bit hard to find. I'm not sure if they're sold on Amazon. I got these on HSN, Home Shopping Network. But I know that Spectrum Noir has their own website. They're a British company. So just a little trickier to find, pay a little extra shipping. So that's why I put these as an honorable mention, but they add a really nice, beautiful, sparkly layer onto your paper. Let's see how this is looking. It's not doing so great on this paper, but they work really well, I promise. So that's why I added them as an honorable mention. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you maybe got some ideas for some products that you would like to try. Please let me know in the comments. Please like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so to get more content like this. I do tutorials, I do big book flip throughs, I do supply hauls, I do color alongs, I also do some journaling things. So lots and lots of coloring content on here for you to enjoy. So please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. And if you have already subscribed, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you get to spend a lot of time coloring, crafting, and doing exactly what you want to do. So thank you. Take care.